Good afternoon guys, this is the fourth tutorial for journal paper video series, and in this tutorial I'm going to talk about how to tackle an essay question in A level or AS level. My name is Tilak and I'm preparing this video for alevelhelp.com. If you haven't checked it out yet, you should go and check out alevelhelp.com. We have lots of resources on A level subjects, journal paper, economics, mathematics and all other stuff. Okay, so the topic for this presentation is how to tackle the questions in journal paper. Okay, let's assume a typical journal paper question. Let's assume the question is, should abortion be legalized? Okay, this question has appeared many times in AS level examination. So this is the normal question. How I usually start writing an essay is that I usually take the balanced perspective. Some of you might want to take the one-sided, or some of you might just want to go for the yes, abortion should be legalized, and you might want to argue on that side, and some of you might just want to go for no, abortion should not be legalized, and you might just argue for that side. But what I usually prefer is I prefer to go for the balanced approach. I have both abortion should be legalized under certain conditions, but in these conditions maybe abortion shouldn't be legalized approach. Okay, so I'm going to discuss how I approach the question. Firstly, I start with the points, like I simply list the points of pro and against, meaning that should abortion should be legalized, why should abortion should be legalized. Well, I could say that it could be legalized for the safety of mother. That could be one point. It could be legalized in terms of like woman empowerment. This is a very much hot issue for the feminism. I could talk about it, and I could keep on saying that since it's woman's body, she has every right to do whatever she chooses to. Okay, and third, I could keep on saying that abortion should be legalized if there are the cases of HIVs or STDs, or in certain cases genetic diseases. Okay, the particular that I have is bipolar disease, and this is genetic, so the likely chances that I'm going to transfer it to my offspring is about 20 to 30%. So in my scenario, I don't know, maybe if a girl had a bipolar disorder, she would want to terminate her abortion. And then I could talk about safety of mother, woman empowerment. I could talk about, like, I don't know, freedom and liberty or human rights. I could say that it's a human right of an individual to decide what he or she wants to do, and no one should be put or objected against it. Okay, and now then I list the other side of the argument. I can go for the negative points. Why should not the abortion be legalized? I could start with the argument by saying that it's against the religious belief. Okay, religion believes that each and every human life is precious and only God can create life, and so only God has the right to take away life. So no individual person should have a right to take away the life. Okay, I can talk about that, and I can talk about the human rights, but not of the mother but of the child. I could talk that since a child is an unborn not weak, that came out wrong. I could argue that since a child cannot decide for itself, and since he or she is not considered in the decision making process, how can you say that, how can you simply terminate a life without his or her consent? So I could argue on that point too. I could further on say that if the abortion is legalized, there would be unsafe sex, and there would be, like, I don't know, wild behaviors, as some of the people might like to call. Okay, this is how I start with the journal paper question. If I find one interesting question, I usually divide into two paragraphs, against it and for it. For example, currently I have 7 points. For the point For it, I have like, should abortion be legalized? Yes, it should be. Why? Because it's safe for mother. It's about women empowerment. They should be entitled to whatever they like. And in certain cases and certain scenarios, if they have like genetic disease, HIV, STDs, or complications, then they should be allowed to do that. And here in feminism, I could talk about woman career, and I could talk about uh, social taboo, especially in the Eastern countries. If you are pregnant before marriage, that's a big taboo, and I could talk about those issues here. And then in the second part, I have separated on the negative aspects. I have listed, should abortion be legalized? No, they shouldn't be, because it's against the religious belief. God created life, so we don't have any right to take it away. Only God has that right. And we could talk about the right of that unborn fetus. We could talk about saying that he or she is unborn and we do not have any right to terminate his or her life. Then I could talk about, if abortion is legalized, it would be very bad because it leads to unsafe sex, wild behaviors, parties, orgies, and there will be social breakdown of norms and values, so on and so forth. Okay, this is how I usually start. Now, if you look at the points, these all points are somehow related and somehow different. What I usually do is I make one paragraph of each of these points. So, in the first paragraph, I'll talk about the safety of the mother. Okay. So in the first paragraph, I'll just make a topic sentence saying that abortion is essential for complicated pregnancies. Okay. So I have made a topic sentence for the one point, abortion is essential for complicated pregnancies, and I elaborate that and make one paragraph out of it. Okay. And I could combine this women empowerment, feminism, career, social taboo, and freedom, liberty, human rights together. And I could simply say that abortion empowers women. Yeah. And similarly, I could make another topic sentence of HIV, STDs, or so on and so forth. So if you look at this, I have got 6 distinct points now. And from these 6 distinct points, I can make 6 paragraphs. And this is how I usually go on tackling the question in the journal paper. In the next video, I'm going to talk about advanced paragraph writing skills. I'll continue from the same tutorial. Until then, have fun, take care, enjoy, and hope you guys will be helped a bit due to these videos. And if you have any problems with seeing the video, or any problem with the quality or anything, feel free to comment. And if in your place you cannot watch these videos, I would try my best to get in alternative sources. And I hope these videos are helping you, and I really hope you guys do very good in journal paper. Till next time, see you, bye bye.